Look what arrived in the mail last week. It is the Ancient Way Book of Dreams. And it's not our dreams, this is for your dreams.
In the beginning, we actually put a load of questions to help guide you through your own dream interpretation. You don't need a guru, you don't need anybody, you actually just have you and the Lord. If you get stuck on anything or you're like, hey, I don't even know where to start, this will help you just kind of get comfortable in understanding your dreams. So people can actually learn, what do I even do with the dream that I have? It's a short guide, but it's really just a whole lot of space for you to start putting pen to the paper.
Welcome to the Ancient Way. I'm James.
I'm Marlia.
We're here physically again.
Yeah, I got a
in the
new
video.
terrible background setup.
Yeah, extremely gray,
Bland.
corporate, little fuzzy wall, and a shelf.
We're trying to be much more professional in keeping things bland.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah. You got to know things by the spirit, not the bland corporate background. So this is the test.
Stop looking at the flesh.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have two different setups for people that don't know. We actually have like a video studio, or we have like a podcast studio, which the podcast studio is nothing but sound dampening. So
yeah, and gray.
Yeah, and
maybe
gray.
some curtains one day or something, or the logo in the background, some cool lights.
It'd be fun.
One of these days when we have time, which is scarce.
Maybe one day when we make time.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
I don't believe everybody says you only got 24 hours in the day. I'm pretty sure there's some people that know how to stretch time.
Yeah, you think so?
I think they know how to manipulate it. I have not learned it yet.
I haven't either. I'm to the point where like you have to pick and choose what you do and who you spend it with and stuff like that. And it's a lot of people don't understand that. Which is, it's interesting.
Yeah.
There'll be something to it though.
You want to just jump right into the deep end?
Yeah. Deep end, yeah. I went on vacation last week.
Speaking of
the deep end, I got stung by jellyfish like probably 20 times. Not even exaggerating. I found out, I don't know how true this is, from one of the fellow beachgoers, that it's like mosquitoes. They go for a blood type.
No way.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Huh.
But it sure seems that way. The mosquitoes, I didn't Google it.
What's your blood type?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Were you the only one?
Positive maybe. Kyla got one or two. Jake got a few of them. I got a bunch of them. And I got a big one. Like it was annoying more than anything. I got to the point where like I'm just going to enjoy it anyways and just get hit with these jellyfish. But then this big one comes up and gets me in my leg. And it felt like someone was threading a needle through my leg. It was just the most weird, uncomfortable pain. That was a big one.
No, thank you.
And toward the end, there's so many of them.
They're not normally there, are they?
Not like they were this time. The waves had them up. They had the purple flag up, which means sea life is everywhere. So this time they were. Apart from that, it was really fun.
That's cool, though.
Yep. Anyways.
Y'all went to Destin?
Yeah.
Good old Destin, Florida.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Y'all go every year as a family, yeah?
No, we went last year. And that was the first time. I think the last time that we went was like 2012 or 13 or something.
Are y'all making this like a yearly thing?
It's gotten funner.
I love that.
It's just gotten funner. Jake and I mean, we're in the front seat the whole time, just like laughing. When we're in charge, it makes it like 10 times more fun, used to. It's you're kind of tagging along and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's getting fun, more fun. Anyways,
You too, hoodlums.
yeah, Jake and I ran every morning
Nuh-uh.
separately. He would go before me. But the Blue Angel fighter jets were out there, like flying around and stuff, super loud, which was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, he saw them, fly over, and I heard them so loud.
It's so fun.
Anyways, yeah, it was fun. What's been going on in your world?
Man, it's been wild. Wild.
I feel like this is how every episode starts.
Yeah, it's I feel like a microwave is not the right word. I don't know.
Like a stove.
Yeah, but it's really hot.
Yeah, cranked up.
Yeah, just a lot of things. It's been very, very, very cool because the Lord has given us such strategic intel and like things happening behind the scenes, like the night before these things would happen.
Yeah.
Specifically, Zach's been getting a ton of dreams. He would have a dream about it, then we would get something would happen the next day, and it's like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
So the divine leading of things have been super cool.
Yeah.
Feels almost heightened for us right now.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things. But it has come with so much insane fire with it.
Yeah.
So that's, navigating personal things, navigating like family things, navigating business things. It's been a lot, man.
Yeah. You're getting like intel and stuff on all of it?
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Like I actually knew, I knew when I literally called my sister one morning and I was like, hey, you're gonna have your baby today.
Oh man.
Literally. And she did that night.
Oh wow.
I was like, I just have a feeling you're gonna have a baby today.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, she was 3 weeks early.
Wow. You just got that.
Yeah, it was just like, but it's been like little things like that. I mean, that's
Okay.
not a little thing. It's kind of a cool thing,
Yeah.
but down to like business deals, down to, our family stuff. It's been very cool. It's been very cool to see the Lord lead a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
emotionally, I'm tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I feel you on that.
so we don't have a bathtub. This is how serious things are for me
Okay.
right now. We don't have a bathtub.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that fully relaxes me, this is probably too much information for the internet, but whatever, is to take an Epsom salt bath.
Okay.
Like I love Epsom salt baths.
Yeah.
I had to call Dory last night at 9:00 and I was like, can I come over?
That one, yeah.
I mean, it was like 8:30, but yeah, she was like, yeah, come on over.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, because she's got like this dope clawfoot, massive,
Oh yeah.
massive
It's like a
tub.
real bathtub.
Oh, it's like,
Yeah, she does, yeah. That's cool.
anyways, but there was just something to it.
Mm.
But that, you don't know how much things are spinning until you get into complete stillness.
Yeah.
Everything in her house was off. She was nowhere to be found. She was
Yeah.
off doing her own thing. There was no sound.
Mm.
There was no nothing. I'd turned my phone off. And I was like, holy crap, this is silence.
Yeah.
There was something I called Zach. I was like, that was the most epic silence I've ever had. That wasn't silent. I wonder
That
if
was
anybody
not
else.
silence. That was a annoying disturbance is what that was.
Somebody's banging on
Well,
glass.
I think someone's gonna get it.
No, I think it's the glass right here.
Yeah, it is. Let me go check real quick.
I'm out.
I'm out. This is something I'm gonna have to cut out.
Okay.
Let's see. I get to practice some divine intel that I received. right now as we're on this episode. Here's what it's been going on apart from vacation,
What just happened?
but I relate to somebody locked themselves out.
Oh.
On vacation, my favorite part was sitting out in the ocean. I go as far as I can, stand, just gonna sit there like this and just,
yeah.
But I'll turn and look at the horizon.
Yeah.
And just sit there. And there was a couple of times where I was out there by myself and you can't hear anything or anybody at all. And it's just like, just sit there and just listen for nothing. Just great. Prior to the vacation though, and still, thinking about it and stuff and kind of reflecting on everything. I've been in the past year of everything. It's my life. It's like you do stuff for people, and you always talk about being the good guy for the sake of being the good guy. It's like you can, curse me, but if your house is burning down, I'll save you, that kind of thing. And I'm still allegiant to that. That's where I'm at. But it's like, okay, well, people are gonna hit you in the back and say things about you and blame you and all this stuff and curse you. And I kind of got to see it before I left, like on a big scale. Yeah. Of like almost publicly, like, wow. It's like, anyways, but it's like, who are you in those, even in those moments? But there's been a thought of mine of being more vocal. I probably talked about it on the podcast. If there's maybe it's bait that I could take of being vocal about certain things, nothing overboard, but just about some of the stuff that I've seen, some of the interactions I've had and some of the dynamics that I've seen. And I've almost done it, which I don't even know if it'd be a bad thing. Anyways, I had a dream where I was given a gun. It was in a box and it had a bullet, and it was like I was an executioner. But it was like the whole nation was like it was a thing that I was supposed to do, and there was this criminal that deserved it, that had, got the death penalty, and I was the one to do it. And it was almost like everybody, it was like an honorable thing. Like, you get to do it. Yeah. You get to pull the trigger on this and deliver justice, And it came time where it was public. It was televised. And I had this gun and I had it in my hand, holding it to this criminal's head. And everybody was screaming like in my ear, like, shoot him, shoot him. And it was that little still silent, like, don't shoot him, have grace on him. Like, let him go. Yeah. In the midst of all this. And I was like, oh, that's the right thing to do. Yeah. And so I threw the gun down, which made everybody really upset. And in the moment, I'm just like, what is that? What is that talking about specifically? I wasn't really thinking about it. And anyways, I get a word Sunday. I was going to go up to teams, which I never do. Yeah, yeah. But someone came up and gave me a word. Basically like, hey, you've got a target on your back, and you know that. And the key to outliving this stuff is not to retaliate. It's not violence. It's not wrathful. Yeah. Like, don't take the bait of that. It's actually your victory is going to be found in the fruit of the Spirit. Return to that, have that, and then come back. And that's what's going to see this through. So good. Yeah. And I was like, that's it. And that's that dream. It's not the way we do it. And so, I got a word about that. Really? From the Lord. Woke up in the middle of the night. One of those, like, Lord, give me a word. Yeah. Flip, there it is. Yeah. And it was specifically about that, where I was having to address some very specific things. Yeah. Very specific dealings that was just like, hey, that's not okay to say.
in like situations of just, I was like, how do I say things? Like,
Mhm.
should I say it?
Yeah.
Is it my place to say? Well, it is, but I'm just supposed to take some of the berating. Like that was kind of my mentality.
Yeah.
But I had peace. I'd prayed about it, and the Lord was like, no, you can go and address it. And there were 3 points that I
Yeah.
felt like the Lord said hit on.
Uh-huh.
Like these three things are essential. Anyways, then I wake up in the middle of the night and I get this scripture, which is 2 Corinthians 2. And it says, I believe that your united rebuke has been punishment enough. And that word, this is like verse 6. But it says your triple rebuke is enough punishment. Like your triple
Wow.
rebuke,
Yeah.
which is the 3 things that I had even like
Oh, wow.
rebuked to these accusations.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I was going to send another email that day. It
Yeah.
was like, hey, no,
Yeah.
kind of rehashing.
Yeah.
But then literally it says, instead of more punishment, what he needs most is your encouragement through your gracious display of forgiveness.
Hmm.
I beg you to reaffirm your deep love for him.
Wow.
You see, I wrote previously in order to see if your hearts would pass the test, if you were willing to follow my counsel in everything.
Yeah.
If you freely forgive anyone for anything, then I also forgive him.
Yeah.
And if I have forgiven anything, I did so for you before the face of Christ.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's just, sorry, that jumped at me. And I was like,
Yeah.
I woke up to that.
That's the way.
Where it was like, hey, this is the next step.
Yeah.
You can absolutely lay out the rebuke,
Yeah.
which I think is always in love, like covering people,
Yeah.
but kind of calling out like, hey, this is actually what's kind of going on. But then you reaffirm love,
Yeah.
release forgiveness before you ever go after a
Yeah.
rebuke.
Yeah.
But the goal is unity.
Yeah.
The goal is not to prove that you're right or to justify yourself or
That's true. Yeah.
to be right in a situation. The goal is for, like, honestly, this sounds maybe religious, I don't know, but like the will of the Lord to be
Mhm.
established
Yeah.
in it.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah.
anyway, sorry.
No,
That got me
that's-
hyped because I was like, yeah, dude, I literally just walked that out.
It's a real
like,
thing.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Well, and part of the word was like, that's the hardest way to go. That's the hardest part about it,
Mhm.
is doing it that way.
Yeah.
But that's the way we do stuff.
It's the
And
only way.
it's his way. It's what you
Yeah.
just said. His way.
Yeah.
The religious way that you,
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
Well, like just
No,
like
that's it. And what was crazy though about the execution dream, it was
Mhm.
like everybody's asking for this. It was like everybody wants this publicly. Just they
Yeah.
want somebody to get hit like that.
yeah,
And I
they
kind of
crave
wanted
it.
it too. It's just like, yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah.
It's like this is justice here. But it's like, you when you have the decision to do it, are you going to choose the Lord's way?
Yeah.
In this crazy situation.
There's so much more fruit that comes out of
Yeah.
going the Lord's way, but I think it's the hardest.
Yeah.
It's the hardest place to get to
Hmm. Yeah.
in going through what I feel like is like public humiliation and
Sure.
betrayal and,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
open rebukes like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's something else.
he did it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for sure.
Listen, if he can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it the big way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ultimate way.
It's wild.
It is wild.
I've had some pretty strange, I feel like the Lord's been building. I don't know if you ever go through seasons like this. Sometimes I'll just get like a chunk of stuff and then I'm just sitting in it for a long time.
Yeah.
Just kind of like sifting through it, like different things that he said.
Hmm.
But I feel like over the last like month or so, it's just been building one on top of the other.
Yeah.
So things that he'll say, like as I'm sitting with it for a couple of days, it just builds. And then there's another, and then there's another. And I feel like I'm getting more of this full picture
Yeah.
of really what the Lord is trying to establish and even like what he's leading us into.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I do too. I've been doing that recently. Just going back and looking through all the dreams and
Mhm.
stuff. And it's like, have I opened this yet? Have I seen this yet?
yeah.
And one thing I have done, I don't know, I keep saying, I don't know if I've said this before on here, but he's given me things to do. And I've been in that hole mindset of like to what degree do we do stuff,
Yeah.
what he's given us. Do we like put feet to it? And I feel like all the buttons that he's laid around me, I pushed them all.
Mm.
And I've like launched these rockets to see, now it's just like the ball is completely outside of my court
Yeah.
because I feel like I've done everything.
Yeah.
And now it's like waiting, like, okay, is anything going to come back from any of this?
Uh-huh.
It's almost like years of things that he's wound up for me to push buttons on.
Mm.
But it's just waiting now. I'm trying to remember where I was going with that.
That makes me think of that scripture, Psalm 37, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait on the Lord and keep his way.
Yeah. Keep his way. Yeah. Stand that fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll give you your inheritance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good. Scriptural. I think I've started to see some of it though. Like there are certain ones, the dream with the contract that I had about seeing something through. And if you do, so you can take the contract and you'll end up being okay. Or you can just tough it out, stick it out, endure through something, because at the end of it, I just remember it was multiple doors and light and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've wondered, like, I think that time frame is past. Like, it should be here by now. But I think I'm starting to see it, and I think it's people. I was thinking it was, I don't know, job doorways or something. I thought it had something to do with a function or something like that. But I actually think these doors that were in that dream, a year ago, less than a year ago, I think it's people.
Yeah.
Because it was a multitude of doors. And I think I'm maybe tapping into that a little bit right now. And it wouldn't be here. So many people that I've talked to, even over the past 2 to 3 weeks alone, I wouldn't have, had I accepted that contract.
Yeah.
Prematurely.
That's actually, Zach had a dream about these guys that were coming after him to sign a contract.
Yeah.
And the only way out was to get into the attic and to actually take this like wagon to fly out.
Mm-hmm.
There was no horse, there was no nothing, like.
Yeah.
But it was like what you're saying, it made me think of his dream of just like, you actually have two options. You can either step out in faith and like let the wagon fly.
Yeah.
Or you sign the contract. You make an agreement for something that feels safer or feels more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it is to a degree, but it's not the fullness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, here, have a little bit of it.
But you won't see the magic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like the mysticism. You won't see the reality of heaven planted. You won't see all the restoration and the fullness of anything.
Yeah.
The things that you're looking for, the things that you're hoping for.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all going through a version of a trial.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single person has something that you're just like.
There's something going on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's.
Yeah.
I always tell myself, don't cheapen it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything cheap.
Yeah.
Because I will kick myself later for doing something cheap.
Right. Yeah. I was talking to Jake about running. We ran every morning on vacation. I was talking to him about like the first half marathon I did. I was like just running like Forrest Gump. I didn't know how long I was going, but I was like 7 miles in. And I just, in my brain, this is when I first started running, I thought, I wonder what a half a marathon is. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And so while I'm running, I pull my phone out and Google, like, what is half a marathon? And it was like 13.1 or something.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm halfway there. That's not bad. I can do that sometimes. And then the thought was like, you're closer to it than you've ever been before. So why not just do it now?
So good.
And I decided in that moment, I'm just going to do it now. And I did it. But it's like the contract thing. It's like you're closer to that magic.
Yeah.
End of it, whatever it is, than you've ever been before. Like, just skip this little meal that's here for you, and go for the
full
at the
deal.
end of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially if the Lord's told you to
Yeah.
go for it. Like, just trust, just do it.
Yeah.
It's got to be worth it.
Yeah, man.
just go off of his word.
I think so much of it is we want the certainty of
Mhm.
how is it going to play out.
Yeah. Security.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Certainty, security, understanding, because we think that if we don't have it, then we won't be able to walk it out.
Yeah,
It's like those are not requirements for walking things out.
that's right.
The requirement is to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Period.
Trust him. You got to trust him. Yeah. And it's like, I know DT said this a couple of times, but like faith, if you have assurance, it's not faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless the only assurance is his word,
Yeah.
But if you have evidence and you have trackable markers, it's like that's not really faith because
Yeah.
to a degree.
But if he said, like, hey, I actually have this for you,
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah, that's it.
That's like Sarah sent me something today
Uh-huh.
that she just sent me something randomly out of nowhere. Listen, get you friends that do this.
Yeah.
Everybody needs friends. I'm just kidding. It was like I was just doing the dishes just now and I heard, do you believe everything is redeemable? And I saw your face.
Mm,
And I just literally, I was like, just that.
yeah.
I could feel the voice of the Lord on it. Like
Man.
just
Hmm.
because I'd been sitting with just emotions that I've been feeling
Uh-huh.
in the waves of things and just sitting with him in them. And then for that, like, do you believe everything is redeemable?
Yeah.
That's how I heard that.
Wow. Wow.
And it's just like you can look at your circumstances, which I even wrote this morning. The Lord told me. He said, your circumstances are not a detector of my goodness surrounding you.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
You can my goodness is only detected by your heart posture and and your perception.
Yeah.
And it's
Man.
like, if people are looking for the goodness of God by their circumstances, they will not always see it.
Yeah. That's true.
They won't be able to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Yeah. Well, and how many people too see a negative circumstance and think that they're unaligned? They think that they're not in his will.
Totally.
Like, oh, I must have done something to step out of it.
Oh, I struggled with that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I was like, God, I must have misstepped. I must have screwed up. Like,
Yeah.
And it's so shame based.
It's a trap. Yeah.
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 Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
It's like, the goodness of God has nothing to do with your circumstances.
Yeah. You wrote that down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lord told me.
Good. Well, we
He sent that to me.
need to write that one down somewhere and frame it.
Yeah. It's just,
That's good.
I just think it's I could just see the immaturity in my own heart of how I would gauge certain situations
Yeah.
by how they were physically working out.
Yeah.
Like, is this thing working out for me?
Mm.
Okay, then the goodness of God is with me.
Yeah.
It's like, skirt? No.
I'm favored. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm highly favored.
Yeah.
Finally got the breakthrough. He finally came for me. It's like, no, dude, he's
there.
He's been with you all along.
Something about favor too is like being a place for him to land.
Yeah.
It's like being in a really horrible circumstance and being able to have his peace land there in
Yeah.
the middle of it.
Isn't it?
That's
Paul and
favorable.
Silas were sitting there
Yeah.
in jail,
Rejoicing. Yeah.
rejoicing.
Mm-hmm.
They've sprung the whole trap.
Yep.
Dude,
That's
what if we had that level of joy
it's
in the midst of our circumstances?
that it
Yeah.
breaks prisons and does crazy weird stuff, pops off. I
Yeah,
think so.
Like
Maybe it's
legitimate
like
power.
when an unstoppable object meets an immovable, whatever,
Yeah.
unstoppable force meets an immovable object, maybe like it's that faith application. When you have that, something is going to give at some point.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. But when it's so high stakes, seemingly like that, maybe
Mhm.
that's when the real miraculous stuff pops off too. The
Mm.
real crazy stuff. Because you couldn't, if you signed a contract and dipped out early, it would just, okay, this is what this is now. And if you
Mm.
see it through, it's just, I think that's what it is.
Dude, have you thought, what if that is the very place that you see the deepest lack is actually going to be the place that you could see the most magical breakthrough
I think so.
if you do not cop out early
Yeah.
of the process.
Yep. Yep.
I think of like irreversible diseases that people have.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
think of like the most severe financial droughts people have ever experienced.
Yep.
I mean, I think of like the most destructive like relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
do you believe that everything's redeemable? And not
Yeah.
just redeemable, like, because sometimes this is where my immaturity would creep in, is I used to think like, yeah, it's redeemable, but it won't be as good.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'll
But
be
now you're
redeemable.
saying redeemable
Oh,
and better. Yeah.
oh, far beyond,
Yeah.
far beyond that anything that you could think or imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
What if his abundant life is actually already surrounding you?
Mm-hmm.
And all of these things that he's wanting to give you, he's just asking for you to go through this process so more is added into your person. So when you receive it, it is as good as it possibly could be.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's something about like seeing it all too, the nastiness of it,
Yeah.
and like looking at it real close,
Yeah.
looking at the reality of it all the way to its fullness here, but then still choosing faith.
Yeah.
Once you've seen it all. Yeah, I think that's what flips it. It's like a rubber
Yeah.
band. It's like something is going to break at this point.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen it break, I think there's still something to be added to you.
Yeah. Sink into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun thought.
Yeah. It's a war.
You know,
It's a faith war.
Oh yeah. Daniel half mentioned this the other day in his message, and then I just like Zach and I got in we get so weird in some of our conversations.
Uh-huh.
We just go out there.
Good.
And he had mentioned, Daniel just kind of mentioned like us being surrounded by the celebration of the cross. Like we're already constantly surrounded by it.
Mm-hmm.
But like if we could just see on the other side of the tracks that everybody's actually fully celebrating.
Yeah.
And then Zach and I started talking about like, what if we actually have been celebrating the whole time and we just haven't pulled it into our body?
Oh yeah.
What if that's the whole sanctification process of like Hebrews, where it talks about like they've already been sanctified, but they're also being sanctified?
Yeah.
Is actually pulling the celebration. What if that's like the communion, the celebration of the Lord himself?
Yeah.
Pulling it into your own body to experience it. Seeing that you're already seated in heavenly places.
Yeah.
And that there is no separation between the two realms. So like if somebody's died, they're already there.
Yeah.
But also you're already there.
Anyways.
So
Yeah.
what if you're actually just engaging with the heavenly domain because they're outside of time and space?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if you've actually been hanging out with all of your brothers and sisters for all this time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's certain disciples that I have like kind of gotten hooked on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Peter being one of them, Barnabas being another.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. They're wild.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about Barnabas? This is just a side note.
He's not one of the main ones, no. He's not normally the.
No. But he actually has, this is extra canonical or whatever. But he wrote the book of Barnabas. So fascinating. But the dude operated on such a level.
Yeah.
I mean, one, he had the eyes to see Paul.
Yeah.
When nobody else did.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He literally operated in such a high prophetic vision.
Yeah.
That he called Paul forth.
Yeah.
You know, like he was the one that brought the bridge of like, hey,
right.
Like before the apostles, he was like, yo, like this dude's legit.
Yeah.
Anyways, but just like, yo, he actually has all those seeds were also Barnabas's.
Yeah.
You know, that's how the kingdom works.
Right.
Like all the seeds that Paul has ever sown, Barnabas was also getting a hit of those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. He's getting that percentage.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Anyway, so I was just thinking like these guys, I so just like, we've been with them. Yeah. We've been with them. We've shared in their experiences.
Yeah.
Because we're already there.
Yeah.
And I bet we've been engaging with them all along. We just haven't woken up to that reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's getting weird, but
No, it's good. It's good. It's like when you die or when you just go there. It's
yeah.
like you realize you've been there the whole time. Yeah.
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 You wake up. Yeah.
But the celebration is happening all around you.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's our responsibility, but also our honor, but
Mhm.
also to engage with the celebration.
Yeah. I think they want us to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like it's an actual flipping party.
Hmm. Yeah. You're
Like the
celebrating the
joy,
ultimate victory. Yeah.
and they see it.
Yeah.
They actually live from that place of victory. They
Yeah.
they have seen, they've engaged, they've been enveloped in the victory.
Yeah.
And you have too.
Yeah.
If only you would realize
You
it.
realize it. Yeah.
If you would wake up to the fact that the victory is already surrounding you.
Yeah.
It's in you. And we're partakers of it.
Yeah. 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 It's cool. Makes me think of that Michael Heisen dream that I had where he was that beard, long hair and stuff.
I forgot about
He
this
was
one.
just wiry and I mean he was like crazy in a good way
Hmm.
in this dream. But he grabbed me by the shoulders and he was like, "Don't you realize who you are?"
Oh,
And it was like, and it was coming from him because you look at the videos and stuff of him and he's just like
yeah.
usually proper, well educated. But in this one,
Hmm.
he looked like John the Baptist, had a vest on, like long hair, long beard, and just wiry and energetic. Don't you understand who you are? It's like,
Yeah.
know that now. You can know that here, which is that celebration.
Hmm. Dude, kind of bringing that into, I'm just kind of processing this right now, but the whole thing about like when you're going through the fire and you're going through this process of seeing something fully restored,
Yeah.
it is the unveiling of remembering who you are.
Yeah, it is.
That is what the fiery trial is about.
Yeah.
That's why you're moving into maturity, is because you're remembering.
Yeah.
Like, you're remembering yourself. You're
Yeah.
remembering who you were before the foundations of the earth.
Yeah.
To exercise your authority, to plant, like, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Like, you're planting it. You're going through the fiery process of planting
Mm-hmm.
and making room for it and establishing it. And
yeah.
But if you don't go through the trial, you won't be able to hit it in that kind of level.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. I like that. I like the remembrance aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Remembering who you are.
Yeah.
Remembering the ancient way.
Yeah. Man, there was a lick that Maya sang a long time ago. I'll randomly put it on. But she sings that lick. She was like, we're remembering.
Oh, okay.
We're remembering all that you've done.
Yeah.
Basically, and all that you've said that we are.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is such a key.
Yeah.
I think, to unlock wherever you're at.
Yep.
Like, remember the power that you have. Remember the authority that you're carrying.
Yeah.
Remember that you're not passive in these things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
I think there's this place that we don't want to say something wrong, or we don't want to do something wrong, or we don't want to be out of the fruit, or we don't want to, and it's like, it's been established in you, bud.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you misstep, and that's okay too.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
It's not about being perfect. It's actually about seeing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about seeing yourself accurately, seeing him accurately.
Yeah.
There's a scripture that talks about, because I had a dream about driving down I-35. I was leaving Bethel, so the house of God, and I was being positioned on I-35, which is Isaiah 35, which is about the highway of holiness.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And anyways, but on it, I love this. So in the highway of holiness, it says, and a highway shall be there, a road, and it shall be called the highway of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it. Like, they won't be able to actually move on it.
Yeah.
But it shall be for the others. Whoever walks the road, although a fool, shall not go astray.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Even if you're stupid.
Even if you're an idiot, even if you mess up,
good.
you can't go astray. You won't
That's good.
You actually can't mess this thing up.
Yeah.
The goal is not perfection.
Right. It's not about that.
Mm-mm. No, it's about learning.
What a relief that is. Even if you're stupid, you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Even if you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah. What a relief that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to dot your I's, cross your T's.
Yeah.
Let's just look at him.
I think
That's the big relief of all of it.
yeah. Well, there's such a, I feel like you can go into two extreme camps. You're
Mhm.
either in one where you're so like everything's permissible, the
Yeah.
lawlessness of just like,
That's what everybody's afraid of, is
uh-huh.
that people will go in that direction.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the church is afraid of.
Oh, for sure. But to be honest, they go to the full other extreme that they just drive everything by shame.
Uh-huh.
So they just get on the other side of the ditch. Like they never actually, neither side actually enters the highway of
Yeah,
holiness.
right.
They're never actually on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I think,
Yeah.
you know, there is that place like you can start to look, okay, am I like putting my hands to things that are actually creating
Yeah.
chaos in my life?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay, like, Lord, if there is, let me know. I'll
Yeah.
check out of it. But if he's
course.
not speaking into that thing, don't go hunt it down.
Right. Yeah. That's a big one. Sorry that you triggered that thought.
No, I like it.
People are afraid of freedom because they think that it's going to prove you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul even says that in the,
Yeah.
the New Testament. Like, don't use it as an excuse to,
Yeah.
be permissible, but
Well,
it's kind of
since
like a
everything's
dog.
permissible, but not everything's beneficial.
Right. Yeah. That phrase alone says it.
Yeah.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he's so good you just don't step into a lot of stuff,
Well, you see how it sabotages your own life.
You do. But the value of knowing him
Yeah.
is
Surpasses.
everything else. So it's not even really a factor.
Yeah.
It's just not even, it's like the sin conscience, it's not even a factor. Like if you have a dog that you grew up or that you raised or whatever, it's your pet and your dog loves you and is loyal, you can let it go out and use the bathroom and it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
If it's somebody else's dog or you don't have a relationship with it, it may just never come back.
Yeah.
It'll go get fed somewhere else. But man, it's just that easy. It's like he's
Mhm.
above and beyond everything else. If it's really him, you're good.
Yeah. I like it. Daniel said this on Sunday, and it just got me thinking about a lot of those different things of like looking at perverse or like just even having perverse thoughts or like
In your
looking
mind,
at
yeah.
things like that. Like it does. It shuts your vision. You'll never be able to see clearly.
Yeah.
Entertaining those thoughts, like even drinking, like
Yeah.
when you actually, and I just know this just physically, you
Yeah.
have too many, you literally can't, like you don't
Yeah.
feel good.
Right.
Like your brain is
Yeah.
literally shut off.
Yeah.
You can't fully engage.
Mhm.
I'm not anti-beer or whatever, but just like the overconsumption of stuff, the overconsumption
Yeah.
of food,
Even
your
food.
your body starts to feel heavy. It's like you actually can see the fruit of these things
Yeah. That's true.
and how much they don't enhance your life.
Yeah.
Even working out to the extreme of things.
Yeah.
You start to disconnect from relationships and you'll start to see isolation, and then
Hmm.
you kind of get surrounded by a certain culture, and it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, there's that too.
Yeah.
That's why I think
Yeah.
like when you can actually just weigh and evaluate what's the fruit of this thing.
Yeah.
How is this adding value into my life? It's real easy to be like, yeah, I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even relationships, people, it's like if they're constantly bringing sabotage into your life,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe it's actually not for you.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's a hard
one. Yeah.
that's a hard one to get
Yeah.
into. But
Yeah.
you want the people that are around you the closest to be the ones that build you up the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
That's
do.
true.
And if those people are not building you up, you first got to ask, like, am I not letting people in?
Yeah.
Like, am I not actually letting people speak into me and
Yep.
enhance me? And then the other one is like, if they are trying to enhance me, like,
Yeah.
okay, that's your issue.
Right.
But if they're actually trying to sabotage you and steer course you, it's like,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to
Yeah.
maybe it's time to grow beyond them.
That's right. Yeah.
But
Man, I've seen
I don't
some
know
of that.
why I went into that, but
That's interesting. I've seen some of that stuff with just like servitude, like being a servant to people.
yeah,
I see people like, in different groups and organizations and in high places and stuff like that that are part of a group that serves people or something, but then it's like when it comes down to it, they complain about everything
yeah,
and they're not served the way they want to be served.
it's actually about
And it
that.
may even have a Christian name on it or something. And it's like,
Might be the YMCA.
it could be, yeah. But it's like you're not getting it.
Uh-huh.
You're looking at what can I get, and can I be treated like royalty for giving you, money? Which sometimes it's like, if I'm James and I've got $100 and I give somebody 50 cents, that's not anything.
Yeah.
Maybe a gold mine to somebody else, and when they get it, they're super thankful. I can feel good, like, I just gave you a gold mine.
Yeah.
But to me, it's nothing. It's just these weird dynamics and stuff. But that's the thing. Like, look, are you serving people, or why are you so bent out of shape because you're not being
Yeah.
served the way that you think you should be?
Dude.
But I've just been seeing that.
You see that in the church
Oh yeah,
a lot.
I know it.
People want to leave because the church didn't meet them the way that they
Meets their
thought,
needs.
or leaders didn't lead the way that they thought they needed to
Yeah.
lead. And it's like, dude, what did the Lord
What
say?
did he do? Yeah. Hmm.
How did he do that?
Well, if you see a need, fill it.
Yeah. But also, if the Lord told you to be there, just flip and be there.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if you have an opinion about stuff,
Right. Yeah, that's a big one.
or like, just even the money thing. If the Lord told you to give, just give. Have no string attached to it.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the
Oh, man.
ego.
This is a rabbit trail. We can keep
I'm
going
sorry.
down. Even the money. It's like if somebody touches your money the wrong way
Oh
and you get
man.
offended, you think you have a right to hurt somebody or attack somebody over that.
Or nailed the
you kinda
95
don't.
thesis.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's been an inside joke.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
It is wild.
It's wild. It's funny how, well, never mind.
Yeah.
I won't keep going down that rabbit trail.
It's weird. But good thing is he's always there. The proximity of Jesus is closer than that.
Uh-huh.
He's right there the whole time. And it's like sometimes it's easy to forget that you can consult
Yeah.
truth himself in anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just right there.
That's there's a word that has often been mistranslated called the parousia
Mhm.
in Greek. And most people have said it's the coming of the Lord. It's where they've taken the rapture. It's that whole concept.
Yeah.
They've really taken and twisted that. But that word parousia actually means the presence.
Mm,
And it's the presence of the Lord that dwells amongst you. And
yeah.
anyways, that word, I woke up to that word, the parousia.
Parousia. Mm,
And it's been sitting around me, and I've been meditating on that, just the presence.
yeah.
It's not that the Lord is coming into these spaces, it's that the Lord is present in these
He's
spaces.
there. Yeah.
So even with the people, these weird dynamics, and even just the weird things about, like, church drama, business drama, friend drama, baby mama drama, like
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
you actually have access to slow down your breathing and
Yeah.
and recognize that you have the presence
Yeah.
with you.
That's right.
Like, he actually wants to speak into those things. He wants to speak into those people,
Yeah.
into whatever capacity he can.
Yep.
He is always looking to sow the seeds of the kingdom. And so,
Yeah.
I think as a mature one, it is our job to be the ones that lead in that,
Yeah.
to be the poster children, to showcase what does it look like to walk by the kingdom
That's right.
in all of these scenarios. And I think it is. I think a big key is just like, take a breath.
Yeah.
And realize that the presence is with you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
The one who, I was writing about this too, in Psalm 22, it's like the prophetic picture of Jesus on the cross.
Mhm.
But it says, like, the bulls of Bashan have surrounded me.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was writing about was when Jesus was actually entering into death to take the keys of death and Hades back,
Yeah.
the bulls of Bashan were surrounding him.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of like those things that you feel bullied in, those things that literally are demonic principalities that are surrounding you.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually an invitation to pick up your authority.
Yeah.
It's the place that you are dying and you will grab the keys. You'll
That's
grab
right.
your authority. And
Yeah.
and I was just writing about that today. Because sometimes I think there is that reality, like you feel surrounded.
Of course. Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
but realizing hey, that's actually a baptism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let him
That's
be
good.
here. Because
Yeah.
I'm getting actually baptized in the fire,
Mm-hmm.
and I will absolutely take up my authority out of this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's like when this is over,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be more than I
Yeah.
am now. Yeah. More of him than I am now. Yeah.
Yeah. And you now
That's it.
like
Yeah.
I will follow after him.
Yeah.
Everything that my life looks like, it will look like his.
Yeah.
Now you got more of
Ooh,
this, mother
yeah.
sucker.
That's it. Like, yeah. Yeah. They're just gonna get more of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very thing that they're afraid of.
How epic that is. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Anyways, I digress. It was a lot.
That's
I've
good.
been chewing on a lot of that, but
It's good. I bet other people have too.
it
It's always
feels,
themes.
yeah. Oh, wow. Never mind. I'll tell you this off camera.
But a theme?
No, I forgot to tell you the rest of that dream that I had
Oh, okay.
with Bobby Connor.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I want to hear it.
Sorry, guys. I'll tell y'all later.
Bobby. Yeah.
It was sweet.
Cool. That it?
I'm good
Yeah.
unless you want to
No.
recap.
Yeah. Let me get my notes.
Recap from the rabbit
Recap
trails.
the episode so people won't have to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. So 3 points that we hit on.
Are
I'm not good at
the
that.
first point is
The Perusia. I'm going to sit with
that was like the third point. That was the last
That's
one.
true.
But that is something though.
That
That
is
is a good
true.
one.
Don't take
Cool.
bait.
Right. Don't do that. Don't shoot people.
That's true. That's the best one.
That's a good one. There's a bunch of them. They're in there. Yeah.
2 Corinthians 2. Yeah. It's all in there.
Yeah. We could probably feed this through AI software and it'll do it for us.
Oh,
Pull all the bullet points out.
you know, Bexley said, this girl, we were talking about, she goes, what do we do? What do we need to do? And she goes, hold on, I'll ask Jesus. So she stops.
some wisdom there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she stops and she prays and she goes, God, what do we do? Just what do we do? And then she goes, I got it. We're going to get a robot, an AI robot, and we're going to get him to work for us.
That sounds legit.
Basically, she's convinced that robots will fix every problem that we have.
Man, they do a good job at
It's
some of this stuff.
It's 4-year-old logic, though.
That's true. Yeah. They'll grow up with it.
I know.
Yeah, that's
It's a
interesting.
weird thought, but
It is. Do we have anything on the horizon?
I barely know what day it is.
I barely know what it is. We've got some guests lined up, working on lining some guests up,
Yeah.
some knowns and some unknowns. Reached out to some massively big people. Hopefully get the variety up there.
I was waiting for the Verizon guy.
Well, now that you mention it, we'll be reaching out to the Verizon guy.
You just said variety, so
Yeah. You're tired.
I am.
Yeah, I hear you too. I'm over here yawning off the camera, but everybody probably saw me yawn anyways.
It's okay. I understand. Sometimes I'm boring.
No, I'm just tired. But books. I'm about 30 pages into a book
That you were writing.
that I'm writing. And what's funny, I'm the same way with movies. Like I can make a movie and it's like rides that line between it being considered a short film
Mm-hmm.
and then it being considered a feature film, and it just
Yeah.
depends on who's watching it. So this one, I don't know if it will be an ebook or a book. It depends on how much I want to add to it or take away from it. But but I think it'll be a good one. It's helped me. Like, look at, it's got practical stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's a story of like, how the Lord introduced himself to me and taught me how to forgive. And there's some just stuff in between there that even going through and writing it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can apply that to this now.
That's cool.
And it's like elementary school. Like,
Yeah.
if you're stupid, you can cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is. But I think it'll be valuable for people to even just read it. I think it's encouraging, if anything, but I think there's some little baby steps in there that'll be good.
Love it.
So,
That's all I got.
good night, everyone.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Ancient Way podcast, drop us a like, share with your friends, share with your family. And if you would like to support us and what we are doing, and you would like to play a direct role in our growth and things that we do in the future,
We have a donation spot at the bottom of our show notes, so you can click on that, give however much you want. We appreciate absolutely everything. We appreciate our listeners, and everybody that's already come alongside and encouraged us, and
Yeah.
even everybody that's been on our show. So,
Mhm.
thanks, guys.